Coatroom and directions managers during a weather emergency. Key points to cover: one person, usher or manager, and perhaps maybe even would-be staff on duty, would be in this area, just encouraging people not to stop for their belongings, but to keep going to level 1. So that would be the main thing that we would need somebody in the lobby for. A directions or coatroom usher, if we have them, needs to be positioned right here on the corner, kind of by this pillar, so that as patrons are being told by house left ushers to exit through these doors, this person is encouraging them to keep going to the tower. We don't want them to linger in the lobby. There's lots of glass. Yeah. I know they're by glass briefly, but if we are encouraging them to move this way quickly, they go right into the tower and use this stairwell, not the elevator, to go down to level 1. So we are now on house right, and someone would, again, at the pillar, need to be placed here so that as house right ushers are directing patrons out these doors, this red coat is responsible for directing them into the tower, Tower 3. They are by glass for a short time. We don't want them to go out these doors or linger in the lobby. So this person is just encouraging them to move into the tower, follow the emergency shelter signs.
And it is only rows S through X of the main floor that we are exiting this way, so it's not going to be a long time before everybody's out.
It might not be very many people at all. We may tell the main floor ushers to move everybody forward. But then they would use the tower stairwell, not the elevator, to go down to level 1. Another possible directions or coatroom usher position would be at this door, which is just outside the entrance to level 2, making sure nobody goes outside during weather emergency, but follows the signs and keeps going downstairs.
Here we are,
okay.
On level 1.
Now we're on level 1, just outside Tower 3. There would be a directions usher who during pre-show was responsible for the teardrop, and he or she would be back out in that teardrop area, just making sure that nobody gets out that way. But they would be sort of, if somebody starts to come down this hall, if they ignore the sign and go this way, that person would catch them and send them back this way.
So really the assigned area is really more or less
right
kind of where we are, with an eye to the teardrop.
This house left is not, it's right here with an eye to the teardrop. And once they come out, are you still there?
I'm with you.
Okay, once they come out this way, there are ushers from house right who are encouraging folks to keep moving forward, so they would merge right here. Because yes, we could eventually use this space to wait out the storm, but depending on the size of the audience, we want to keep people moving forward.
And once we get out of eyesight of the teardrop, we are in safe areas.
Right.
So
it's not critical to have an usher like positioned at every junction.
That's right. The big idea is just to keep people moving so that the patrons who are not yet in a safe area can get into the safe area.
And if it's a big enough show where we need to use conference rooms as seating areas to wait out the storm, we may eventually ask balcony ushers who are done evacuating by that point, or additional directions and coatroom ushers to be at the entrances to all these various conference rooms, encouraging patrons to come in and wait out the storm there if needed.
Now on the other side, when patrons came down the other elevator from level 1, we of course want to have a similarly positioned directions usher.
That's right.
In this area.
We want to have somebody. Well, this would be a house left usher at the backstage door. Is that what you were thinking? Or you were?
No, I was thinking getting out of the tower.
Getting out of the tower. Got it.
And keeping moving.
This area?
So people would have come down these stairs.
Right, down, and we would actually probably want somebody
at that same exterior door that we looked at the
that we just talked about on house right, to make sure that nobody exits and comes down this way. And then once they hit this tower area, it's not as critical as the other side because you're not going to enter the teardrop and be by glass. You can walk these hallways and not be near any glass.
But it is still a question of continuing to move. And the person who's here can assist if there's a clog.
Right, and there's a house left usher directing their folks out of the backstage, so you're kind of working together at this point to get them to merge and keep moving.